Hello, my dear students. Today, our topic is human resource planning. Well, you know the importance of planning in your life. It's everywhere, whether you talk about your daily life, whether you talk about your own life, whether you talk about your education, you know very well what is in store there for you. So you have that thing clearly in your mind. You understand the importance of deciding in advance, that is planning. So, planning is the secret of success in today's world. In lieu with that, today we'll discuss the ins and outs of human resource planning, starting with what it is by understanding the definitions for human resource planning, articulating the features of human resource planning, describing various objectives, and knowing the importance of human resource planning. Okay, so what is HRP? HRP is the short term for human resource planning. You might have come across human resource planning, manpower planning in some books. That is how it is used to be referred to as earlier. No organization can afford the risk of critical skills shortage. Human resource planning helps to ensure that you have the right people on your team, those with the skills to compete, innovate, or grow your company. How do you anticipate workforce needs in business environment where the rate of change is increasing while the number of people with the right skill is shrinking? The answer is human resource planning. So today's lesson revolves around the concept of planning for the human resources that the organization might need in the future for the pursuit of its own objectives. Let's have a look at the definition. According to Witter, it's a process by which the management determines how the organization should move from the current manpower position to the desired manpower position. Through planning, management strives to have the right time doing the things which result in both organization and individual receiving maximum long-term benefits. C. With the help of planning, it is decided in advance how many people are required in the future, whether employment is to be made or deployment has to be done. So, according to the need of the organization, it is decided in advance. It is done in advance to achieve the objective of optimum use of human resources and to have the correct number of and type of people needed to meet the organizational goals. So HRP is double-edged weapon. If used properly, it leads not only to the proper utilization but also reduces excessive labor turnover and high absenteeism and improves productivity. Let's have a look at another definition. So HRP, according to Beach, HRP is a process of determining and assuming that the organization will have an adequate number of qualified persons available at proper times performing the jobs which meet the need of the enterprise and which provide satisfaction for the individual involved. So whensoever how many people are required, that is to be assured by the organization so that right person is there at the right type of the job. So that is very, very important. So it can be said that it is a task of assessing and anticipating the skill, knowledge and labor time requirements of an organization and initiating action to fulfill or source those requirements. Okay, let me tell you, the Starbucks is the world's largest coffee chain. It has recorded $21.3 billion in sales in the year 2016. Okay, so the company by then had projected that it would be reaching around 35 billion in sales in 2022 by opening 12,000 stores over the next 5 years, the majority of them being in China. So, being a manager, how would you plan human resources with such a massive growth goal? For Starbucks, their approach remains the same no matter where the stores are located. Their human resource planning flows from its organizational strategy and its brand. People are Starbucks' primary resource, as their mission clearly states. Our mission is to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. So, an important aspect of Starbucks human resource planning is its selection process, which uses specific interview techniques to determine if potential employees are on brand and evaluate their skill sets. So, the company identifies capable leaders for the company and hires them using a program called New Partner Orientation and Immersion. This human resourcing plan approach has led to the lowest employee turnover rate and quick service restaurants. While most important quick serve restaurants range between 150 to 150 to 400% turnover, Starbucks rate is 65%. The company is always on the lookout for the new employee perks and focuses its all energy on the training of the employees, which includes an elaborate online portal that offers an instruction program imparting the necessary job knowledge. So, here we see how important human resource planning is for the organization to go on for a good growth, right? So now let's have a look at the features of human resource planning. As till now, I hope you have clearly understood that human resource planning is a process including forecasting, developing, and controlling, by which firm ensures that it has right number of people, right kind of people at the right places at the right time doing the work for which they are economically most useful. Okay, so it's concerned with ascertaining the manpower needs, that is in number and the kind. Then it's a continuous process. Why? It's a continuous function because it is having a systematic approach and it ensures a continuous and proper staffing. It presents an inventory of present manpower. Right now, how many people does the company have? One as manager will have to look into initiation of organizational policies, whether the company wants to go for recruiting more people or want to go for redeployment, and or whether if it would have to opt for the trainings or preparing the policies for the retirement and discharge. So what is to be done, that has to be seen by the company according to this plan. Anticipating manpower. So in order to see how many people are required, so plan will have to be made if the company is doing well and is trying to expand in near future, so it would be deciding to go on with more recruitment of people, right? So from the definition, now objectives become very clear. I'll just swiftly go through this slide to find out the need of manpower, then to analyze the current manpower, to find out the shortage, to initiate the action depending on the shortage, right? And to ensure the acquisition, utilization, and improvement of manpower. Now, finally, coming at the reasons of human resource planning, why it is required for any kind of organization. So, one by one, we'll have a look at various reasons. Okay, so let's have a look at the first one, what it is. Employment and unemployment situation. So, from the above, we can construe that in general the number of educated people is on rise and there is an acute shortage for a variety of skills. This emphasizes the need for more effective recruitment and retaining the people. Technological changes. The changes in production technologies, marketing methods, and management techniques have been extensive and rapid, so their effect has been profound on job content and job context. These changes cause problems relating to retaining and redeployment. All this suggests the need to plan manpower needs intensively and systematically. Okay, organizational changes. So, the nature and the pace of changes in the organizational environment, activities, and structures, these are all things that affect the manpower requirements and require strategic considerations. Demographic changes. The changing profile of the workforce in terms of age, gender, literacy, technical inputs, and social backgrounds have implications for the manpower planning. The workforce is more diverse than ever before, and the trend shows it is going to be on the rise even more. Skill shortages. Unemployment doesn't mean the labor market is the buyer's market. Organizations have in general become more complex and thus in turn require more specialist skills that are rare and scarce. The result is more dependency on the professionals. Thus, problem may arise when such people, if they are employees, decide to leave or switch to more lucrative employment, or if they are freelancers, decide to shift their business somewhere else. Please note that these are some examples of implications of what is most happening in business world today. Okay, and the next one is government influences. Government control and change in legislations with regard to affirmative action for disadvantaged groups, working conditions and the hours of work, restrictions on women and child employment, casual and contract labor, etc., have stimulated the organization to become involved in systematic manpower planning. Coming at the next reason is legislative controls. The days of hire and fire policies are gone. Now legislations make it difficult to reduce the size of an organization quickly and cheaply, especially in the presence of strong politicized trade union scenario in India. So it's easy to increase, but it's really difficult to shed the fat in terms of numbers employed because of recent changes in labor law related to layoff and closures. Okay, so all the legislations will have to be kept in mind while taking further future decisions. Coming at the next, impact of pressure groups. Pressure groups such as unions, politicians, and NGOs, displaced from land bilocation of giant enterprises have been raising contradictory pressures on enterprise management, such as internal recruitment and promotions, preference to employees' children, displaced person, sons of the soil, etc. Do you remember the Assam tea case? System concept. The spread of system thinking, the advent of PCs, and upsurge of people management concept, which all emphasize the planning and having the common and transparent personal records. And next is lead time. The long lead time is necessary in selection process and for training and development of the employee to handle new knowledge and skill successfully. So we see human resource planning is all more imperative. One needs to think strategically to be ahead of others in acquiring human resources. So we've come to know why HRP is necessary for any organization, right? So that's all for today. Thank you so much.